I think one thing that you just have to get in mind is that it's okay to change and it's okay for your life not to have worked out the way you want it to have worked out up until now. It is okay for you to have worked towards the goal, gotten that goal, and actually hate that goal. To my channel, today we are going to pivot our lives for the better. I am absolutely not waiting into the new year to change my life completely. Like, one thing I am very big on is that, baby, if you do not like your life at any given moment, any given second, you can absolutely change it 100%. That is exactly what I did maybe 2 months ago. Like, I literally was just over my job, over where I was living, just over the life that I created. And mind you, like, I didn't create a bad life. I was just over it. Like, I had been doing it for like so long that I just needed something different. So I ended up quitting my job. I ended up moving across the country. Like, I was in LA. I moved all the way to Pennsylvania. And then hopefully I may move to New York or I may move out the country. But I just needed a change. And mind y'all, I am in my 30's. Like, I am not, I'm not going to say I'm not a young spring chicken because honestly, I still feel like I'm in my 20's. But what I will say is that society makes it seem like if you don't have it together by the time you are at the end of your high school, at the end of college, or in the beginning years of right out of college, then you really can't get it together. When in reality, honestly, you could decide tomorrow that you want to do something different or you want to get it together or whatever you want to call it. And you can literally do it. There is like absolutely nothing stopping you from doing it. So I think one thing that you just have to get in mind is that it's okay to change and it's okay for your life not to have worked out the way you want it to have worked out up until now. It is okay for you to have worked towards the goal, gotten that goal, and actually hate that goal that you reached. Because that actually happened to me. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to not be okay with your life. So I think embracing the change and deciding like, okay, I am not okay with this, even if it's something you work so hard towards. Like, kid you not, I did 6 years of school and worked 10 years in the fashion industry to get to the point of me being like, I actually don't think I want to be in the fashion industry anymore. And mind you, my degree is very specific. It's kind of hard to translate into something else, but I refuse to go through life unhappy. Like, I swear I refuse to go through life unhappy. Once that unhappiness hit me, just that little bit, baby, I was so ready to change everything. If you're watching this video and you're deciding to change your life, like, literally sit down and think, what do I want my life to look like next? Like, and it doesn't have to be this dramatic thing of like, oh my God, I hate my life so much. You could actually really like your life and just be like, you want to know what? I want to try something new or I want to change it. Or if you don't like your life, literally, what do you want in life next? And when I mean write this down, I mean like just play pretend, play make believe or whatever. Don't succumb to reality. Like, have fun with it. Like, honestly, when you're changing something for the first time in life, like the best part is to think of like what can happen in a good way. And the thing about being in your 30's and just ready to pivot in life is that that is something so natural. Like, that is not uncommon. Like, being in your 30's, you can reflect back on your 20's, you can reflect back on your teens and think like, okay, I shouldn't have did this, I should have done that. I wish I would have listened here. I wish I would have dropped that little bit of advice that I did not need. Like, this is the best time to pivot life. Like, honestly, I feel like everybody should pivot life in their 30's. Like, we should all just sit down and be like, do I actually really like this? Or am I just doing it because I think that's what I'm supposed to do? But just know, like, don't feel lost because it's normal. Hi, I'm someone who pivot their life in their 30's. And just think about it as it's going to be a fun adventure. Like, this is going to be something new for you. This is going to be something so fun. Also, I think one thing about starting your journey you need to do is to let go of societal pressures. I feel like society makes it seem like you should have it all together in your 30's. Like, you should have the career, you should have the car, you should have the family. Like, yeah, some people do have those things. Some people don't want those things, and some people have not reached those things. Like, life is literally, I feel like life is not like a milestone checker. It's not meant to be like, okay, well, I hit 30, I need this, this, and this, or I don't have this, this, and this. Like, okay, if you don't have those things, what's gonna happen? Is the ground gonna open up and swallow you to hell? Is somebody go jump out the bushes and beat your ass because you don't have those things. Like, what is the worst that is happening because you don't have those things? Now, if you want those things, this is the time to actually write it down and to start planning on how you go get those things. But I am a firm believer, baby. Like, maybe you know what? Maybe it's maybe it's the tourist in me, or maybe it's the middle child in me who is a firm believer of like, I'm gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want, where I want. And that's what I feel like pivoting in life is. It's like, I don't care about none of this. You told me I should be married by this age. You told me I should have this type of career by this age. You told me I should be doing this by this age. Baby, I'm gonna do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, where I want to do it. Like, you cannot tell me what to do. And like I said, maybe that's real Taurus middle child energy, but I feel like we all need that type of energy in life for sure. I feel like after you write down and get clear on what your next steps are in life, you really got to let go of that fear. That, because I feel like honestly, that's what's holding you back, right? That fear. It's not that you can't see yourself doing these things. It's not that you don't want to do these things. It's not that you don't know how to do these things. It's probably that you're scared. And that is what's holding you back. And that's probably what's been holding you back last year, the year before last, the year before that, before that, before that. And now look, not trying to be mean, but now look at you. So I feel like once you write down like what matters to you, whether you want to pivot in your career, whether you want to pivot in your lifestyle, like you could simply be like, okay, I'm tired of living this mediocre life. I want to live a luxurious life. You could want to pivot relationships. Maybe at first you didn't want to get married, but now you do. Or maybe you wanted to get married, and now that you realize, like, maybe that's not something for me, you can let that go. So I think once you write those down, you can actually face fear head on, where it's like, okay, why am I scared to take those extra classes that's going to help me pivot in my career? Why am I scared to go out by myself so I can meet somebody, potentially my husband or possibly new friends? Why am I so scared to change in life? Like, I also feel like, too, when it comes to feeling scared, there's a study that shows that fear and excitement are the same reactions within the body. So for me, when I feel scared, I just try to like switch my mindset to be like, oh, okay, it's scary because it's exciting. It's scary because it's new. It's scary. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, even if I feel that little bit of fear, I try to repaint it as excitement instead of as fear. Because if you really think about it, if it's the same bodily reaction, then it all it deals with is the thought. So your excitement is just positive thoughts with that bodily reaction. And fear is just negative thoughts with that bodily reaction. And who controls their thought? You control your thoughts, no one else. So when you get scared, just switch the thoughts out. I feel like, instead of thinking about like all the things that could go wrong, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, just think about all the possibilities. Because one thing about me, when I'm changing my life, I am pure delusional. I'm just like, oh my God, what if I meet the love of my life when I go to this restaurant by myself? Oh my God, what if I find $1 million in the bag? Like, that's really how I am. Like, I'm very delusional. I feel like anything in this world can happen if you allow it. So I know I'm talking about how I basically quit my job and then I moved across country or whatever. And I I will make another video on how to do it like step by step. But one thing I will say again, as a middle child and as a Taurus, is that I did not think about it. I know, like, I am not a type A girly. I am not, let me write down and think about the risk that I'm taking. I am a act first, deal with the consequences later. Oh, and I know that's bad. And you probably should not do that. And I honestly, I'm not going to say I don't recommend it because it has worked out for me. Know who you are, know how you are, and know what you're capable of. Because me, one thing I can do is survive. That is one thing I absolutely can't do. So I woke up one day and honestly was just like, I don't want to work here anymore. And quite literally quit that next week. Like, okay, so your girl did plan it out just a tad bit. I gave myself a week. So I quit the next week, packed up my apartment, and moved to Philly with family. And honestly, life has been good ever since. Like, I started a small business that took off 2 days after I quit, which honestly was like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a stroke of luck because I have been working. I do work on a lot of things outside of work, But it all just fell together at that time once I made that decision to pivot my life and to just move forward. I think what it was that God was honestly trying to nudge me forward. But because I had it in my mind of how my life should look and what I wanted and how I wanted to do things, and I wanted to live in LA, and I wanted to live in downtown LA where I was living, and I wanted my lifestyle to look a certain way. But once I just felt like, okay, I'm so over this, and allowed allowed God to just take control, complete control, that's when the floodgates of like blessings really opened up. Like, kid you not. Once I was just like, okay, LA is not for me. Even though I did have an amazing time and learned a lot in LA, I was like, okay, LA is not for me. I swear, once I thought that thought in my mind and made a conscious decision of I am quitting my job, promise you, that's when the floodgates of blessings opened up. When I say everything aligned so perfectly, because I let go of the fear of not living in LA, and because I had worked so hard to get there. So I let go of that. I let go of what I thought my life should look like. I let go of just being scared to actually pivot my life, because in your 30's you don't want to have to start back over, which technically you're not starting back over because you have built a mountain of knowledge, right? After you write down what you want, after you get over your fear, my next suggestion would be to see what all do you need in order to accomplish your next step. So, for instance, do you need to add more skills, meaning go back to school or get certifications or just take classes online and do certain things? Do you need to go and network to meet people to boost your career or to help you pivot in life? Or, just what do you need to do next? Like, do you need to work on your finances so you can get the things that you want out of life? Like, these are the things that also need to be written down as well. Like, though I am an impulsive person, I do write down things a lot. Like, I quite literally have a journal where I only write the things that I want in life, and then sometimes I'll break it down. Sometimes it can be overwhelming and I don't break it down. But eventually I do work it out to where it becomes like an actual action plan and not just something written down in a journal that I have. So another thing that you need to pivot your life is to find supportive people. Don't let somebody sway your decision, right? Like, maybe they can add on to your decision, but if they're trying to talk you out of doing better for yourself, you might want to rethink who you're telling. But make sure when you tell people that you want to pivot your life so you can get support, that they are the right people. If you don't have a support system in your life, then just be careful who you tell and just continue to write it down. I also feel like with the way social media is, you can find people on social media that are like minded. You can also go on Facebook. There are like Facebook groups for everything. I was thinking about moving to Mexico. There is literally a Facebook group about moving to Mexico. I was also thinking about possibly moving to Thailand. There's a Facebook group about moving to Thailand. Like, it's not impossible to find people that are supportive. You just have to put yourself out there and not be scared, because I feel like that's the scary part too, is putting yourself out there. But like we talked about, fear is not real. It's just excitement disguised with negative thought. Now that you've written it down and that you've thought about or faced the fear head on, and you found some people to support you, even if it's just you having to support yourself in the meantime, the next step would be just visualizing, which is the most fun part of it all, is to just sit back and think, okay, when I take step one, step two, step three, this is what my life is going to be like. If I do this, then this will happen. If I take this risk, then this will happen. If I gain the courage to do A, B, and C, then this will happen. Like, to me, that's the most fun part. And you can also make a vision board for this. Or what you can do is take your phone and record yourself talking to your future self, of just being like, I'm so proud of you for taking the leap of faith. I'm so happy that you did A, B, and C. We're so glad that da 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 da. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like having that and then rewatching that will also put you in this mood of like, okay, it is okay to pivot. Like, also on this journey, while you're visualizing, also think about other outcomes that could happen in a good way, not in a negative way. Because you also want to be flexible too. Because, like I said, once you allow God or allow the universe, whatever higher power you believe in, once you allow that to help you move through life, when I say things become a lot easier, doors start to just fly open, like, it's it's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Since I pivoted my life, I've been having a lot of fun and a lot of success. And while you're doing this, just take it easy. Don't start with the negative self-talk if something does not go how you think it should go. Don't start with the self-doubt if something doesn't go how you think it should go. Always be like, anytime you take a step forward, the next thing out of your mouth should be like, dang, I really did that. Like, don't let the self doubt creep in because honestly, self doubt will creep in and it will keep you stuck. And when I mean stuck, like it will keep you stuck for years. Like anybody watching this video who has been feeling stuck for years, ask yourself why. Is it because you doubted yourself? Is it because you were scared? Is it because you just did not move when you needed to move? Like, just ask yourself why. Why have I been stuck? We're all honestly in this world just to live, and you decide what life looks like for you. Whether it is you own a farm with some animals and you live on it with the love of your life, or is you a rich auntie living in a sky rise with no kids, you got 10, 12 nieces that come over for the summer and you send them right back, or you a traveler, somebody who just travels all over, or you just living a peaceful life. Like life is literally yours and you decide how you want to live it. And quite literally, I know I say literally a lot, but quite literally, whatever your life is right now is because of you. And I know that's so hard to hear, especially if you're in a place where you genuinely don't like it. It's because of decisions that you have made. If you can make one decision to be in that situation, you can make another decision to get out of that situation. Life is just a combination of decisions that you have made. And I know if you don't like where you are right now, or even if you're just okay with where you are right now, it's because of all the decisions that has led up to this point. But the great thing about that is you can make a bunch of decisions that could change your life for the better. Like, I feel like if you just start being conscious of your decisions now, like, okay, I want to pivot my life, always kind of ask yourself in the back of your mind, like, is what I'm doing right now conducive to the future that I want? Is the decision that I just made conducive to the future that I want? And if it is no, at any given point in time, you can change it. Don't get down on yourself if you made a small decision that does not add to the life that you want. Don't get down on yourself. Like life is so fun when you just know that it's basically just a puzzle to be put together. There's really no real point to life other than to just live it. Like that's really what it is, other than to just live it. But that is how we're going to pivot our life in our 30s. And I hope that I gave you guys information that could help. If you have any more questions, comments below, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.